It's the first day of April, so we're now 23 days away from the NFL draft. The NFL has come out and said that the draft process will not be affected by the COVID-19 outbreak. So teams aren't getting in pro day workouts with athletes. They're doing calls over Zoom or Skype or FaceTime or whatever it is to sort of interview these players, and they're letting the combine and the tape tell the story. So I figure for the next week, I'm going to go over my mock draft. I'll break it down pick by pick, and I'll do 5 picks a day. This first version of my mock draft was on the Draft Network's Mock Draft Simulator, where I drafted with each individual team. I didn't do any trades for this first mock draft. I'll wait to do that when we get closer to the NFL draft, when I can understand which trades might actually happen come draft night. But as always, we don't always know exactly what's going to happen, but if you want to stay up to date with the latest prospects in my mock draft, be sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on this video. So we'll start with the number 1 overall pick. With no trades in this first mock draft, I have the Cincinnati Bengals drafting Joe Burrow, the Heisman Trophy winner out of LSU. Burrow, the national championship quarterback for the LSU Tigers, had one of the greatest college seasons in collegiate football history. Burrow passed for over 60 touchdowns, and he has a lot of the tools in the NFL to be a really good starting quarterback. I'm not saying he's going to be a superstar, but right now he's the most can't-miss prospect at quarterback in this draft. He has the least amount of question marks surrounding him. So I think the Bengals will take him with the number 1 overall pick. Moving to number 2 overall, this is the best prospect in the entire draft. Very similar to a Nick Bosa situation from last year. Another Ohio State defensive end, Chase Young. Young showed all of the tools in college to be a playmaking defensive end that can really have an impact on his team's success right away. The Washington Redskins would be silly not to draft Chase Young with the 2nd overall pick. Young, I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Nick Bosa was in his rookie season, but he has just the same amount of tools as Nick Bosa does. So with the 3rd overall pick, I have the Detroit Lions selecting another Ohio State defensive player, Jeff Okudah, the defensive back. Okudah has one of the best hands at the defensive side in this draft class. He also has the speed and versatility to be a playmaking defender in the NFL. I also considered linebacker Isaiah Simmons at this slot, but Isaiah Simmons isn't really the fit for the Giants, and I think Jeff Okudah is one of the defensive backs who could have an impact in this league like a Darrelle Revis over the next 5 years. And for the 4th overall pick, I have the New York Giants getting some offensive line help. Really, the top 4 offensive linemen in this draft all have a chance to have very similar careers. Not one of them stands out above the rest. But I think they're going to fall in love with offensive lineman Tristan Wirfs out of Iowa. Wirfs is a big body offensive lineman with strong hands and quick feet, and I think that'll translate extremely well for the New York Giants as they try to protect for 2nd-year quarterback Daniel Jones and running back Saquon Barkley. And finally, with the 5th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, I have the Miami Dolphins taking quarterback Tua Tagovailoa out of Alabama. Tua is a national champion left-handed quarterback with a big arm. He is coming off hip surgery, but all signs say that he'll be medically cleared to go and begin his NFL career in 2020. Tua is one of the most special draft prospects we've seen over the last few years, and had it not been for his injury history, he would likely be the number 1 overall quarterback by the Cincinnati Bengals. But Tua has a ton of upside. I am a little bit concerned about his injury woes in college with his knee and now his hip, but I do think that Tua could have a really good NFL career, and the Miami Dolphins would be smart to take him with the 5th overall pick. There we have it. Those are my first 5 picks in my first mock draft. Tomorrow we'll do picks 6 through 10, and we'll continue it all the way through the first round. By the end of this mock draft, I'm sure I'll have some changes, and there will be things that have changed. Maybe some trades will happen, and maybe I'll even project some trades for my 2nd version of the mock draft. But for now, enjoy my first 5 picks of my first mock draft. As always, leave a like on the video, comment below, and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day, everybody.